Hello, everyone. Welcome to another race in the Hybrid Major Glitches Tournament. I'm Chex Human, and I'm joined by Malmo. Hello, Malmo.
Hello, Chex.
And we have a race between mm2nescartridge and zerorush. And these are two excellent runners. And Malmo, what is a Hybrid Major Glitch?
It is a cross between an overworld glitch and a major glitch. It is a mode that expects you to do most of the overworld clips and a very small percentage of the underworld clips. As long as you're not using like one frame inputs in the overworld or certain high level ones like, screen wrapping and transitioning. But all of those things are still allowed, so you might see some of them pop up. But it does have a big effect on the logic. Like Swamp is now accessible through Mire. Instead of the small key being in the front, it can just be anywhere it wants. And there's a few other things that come
Yeah.
up.
Swamp is part of the mega dungeon, Meyer Hera Swamp. And that is the mega dungeon. Most of the other dungeons we can only access from their own entrance.
So this race between mm2nescartridge and zerorush, mm2nes is up a game. This is a game 2, a best of 3 double elimination bracket. So it's going to be a bit longer than most of our glitch tournaments have been. But this is also our biggest tournament that we've had in the community ever.
Yeah, so great to see so many people involved in glitched racing. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it turns out that this mode was created to make the major glitches mode, which expected you to do pretty much everything that's legal, a little bit more race friendly and a little more accessible, and less volatile. And it turns out people seem to like it. It's pretty much supplanted overworld glitches as the main racing mode that's not no logic for the glitch community.
Yeah, and our racers will be starting in just a few seconds. And on this file select screen, we have one runner with a star next to the hash. I forgot what that means.
That means they have reduced flashing turned on. So if they are in Mire casting ether, you don't have to close your eyes.
Okay, good to know. And they're off. Do we have 2 sanctuary starts?
That is rare. I think most people like to start at Link's house. There's a lot of places you can go from Link's house. Sanctuary pretty much just leads into the Lost Woods area. From there, you can choose to go up the mountain, or you can go to Kakariko Village. They did do an early map check showing a pendant at Hera, crystals at the other dungeons.
Yeah, I saw MM2 side had a map check. Did Zero have a map check?
So far, just MM2. zerorush is literally just rushing the mountain.
Yeah, this is a Death Mountain ascent. It will, of course, skip the glove block at Death Mountain, and he'll be picking up the old man. Meanwhile, MM2 is doing some resource gathering.
When you go up the mountain this early, usually that means that you're... Ooh. Okay, that's blue, right?
That it is.
That's an ice rod on Lumberjack. You can't get around Aghanim in this mode. You have to fight the wizard. Even in no logic, you still have to fight the wizard. It's pretty much comes down to whether Trinex is required or not in the seed. But yeah, when you go up the mountain, as zerorush is done, usually that's because you're trying to get your first bombs from Graveyard Ledge. You can get 3 bombs in here, 4 really, but you spend 1, and you get an item. But
nice sword.
MM2nes, yeah, is rewarded with a sword. So zerorush had no trouble getting past the dead rocks, but having that sword will probably make it a little easier for MM2nes if the RNG is not as good. mm2ness is also just finding bombs in the tree poles, so doesn't have nearly as much incentive to rush Graveyard Ledge.
So Zero Rush, after his DMD, is going to Kakariko. And it's time for a DMA for MM2 now as well. They both use what we call new DMA, which came out a few years ago. And that goes directly to the entrance, as opposed to the exit of Old Man Cave.
It's interesting to see Zero Rush going clockwise through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like either Lumberjack is not going to get checked, which would be pretty bad for him, or he plans to just save and quit at that area instead of going up the mountain. Because he's already been up the mountain. He just needs to do it twice.
Yeah. On the other hand, it might be nice, and he's not going that way, but it would be nice to go toward Lumberjack and then do a Lumberjack DMA.
This is quite bad for Zero Rush, but I don't want to call the race yet because maybe Zero Rush has a plan to check it later with the mirror if it shows up.
Yeah,
maybe
no need to
Trinex
call.
is just dependent and it never matters.
So we have one item so far in Hera.
Yeah, we watched the items in Hera because Hera doesn't have to give you a key in the front. It doesn't. It's an item in a map, so we do not have access to the top of Tower of Hera without going through Mire and opening doors using the Mire big key. Or, you know, we just Hera pot because Hera pot came out after this logic was written.
And there is a bottle in Blind's hut. And there's another one. I wonder if MM2 will grab that. Yeah. Might be a bit of a time loss in comparison. Zero Rush is unlikely to grab that.
Yeah, maybe MM2 takes this into pod, but I doubt it. So many bottles. Oh my gosh. How many bottles does Zero Rush have?
I missed these ones.
Yeah, I will kindly ignore MM2 going left. I am now a little bit more charitable and just assume you're on a CRT that cuts off the edge of your screen. You can't actually see the item. You can totally dash straight to the Spectacle Rock Cave item and see what it is without falling, if you have full view of your game feed. MM2 is doing a great job dodging enemies.
Yeah.
It's very easy to just get pummeled here. That Tektite does 2 hearts. Everything here except for the Bari does 1 heart. I don't know if people know this about the second Bari in here. If it's zapping when you get to it, all you have to do is immediately charge your dash again. And that times it perfectly that you can dash through. This is the worst part, is the bottom of Spiral Cave.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous, especially without a sword. But even with the sword, it's really easy to just get lotteried by something.
The Bugnet is not at the Sick Kid today, but rather the tavern.
Yeah, they must be using it to catch barflies.
So, so Zero Rush is now in Desert, which is often combined with Kakariko, since it's right next door.
MM2ness is just tripping over bombs. Look, there's more. You know, that Twin is saying that they're using the same boring sprite. They're actually not using the same sprite. Look at the color of Link's hat and tunic on MM2ness's side. I think he's using, like, hat color Link, or tunic color Link. It's one of the two.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks a little bit like
okay.
grass green.
I thought it was Zelda 1 Link, but it's not, is it?
Yeah, I want to say this is. Oh, maybe it is Zelda 1 Link because his hair is brown. Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good point.
I think that's what it is.
I love Zelda 1 Link because he looks like Diddy Kong when he gets red mail. This
Oh,
is
okay.
a clip I don't see very often.
Yeah.
It's hard to make it work because it orphans everything that's around it. You can't exit the cave when you
Yeah,
flip
it's
them this
not
way.
easy to exit. And we would need to be able to fake flipper or flipper out of here. So, yeah. It usually involves a kick. So it's a DMD that puts you behind the waterfall, but it's best to sort of kick toward the center and the center of the entrance and then be able to get in from there. Zero Rush, Death Warping.
MM2 being the first person at 7 minutes 50 seconds to get Link's house chest. It's good. Zero Rush looked like he was going to dodge that. He's actually going to Ice Ride Cave from here. This is not something I ever see in Randomizer. This is a speedrun tech that can hardlock your game, and it's really risky to do this in Rando when you have done a whole bunch of Kakariko, but Zero Rush clearly has practiced this a lot and is comfortable with it.
That's so funny.
The problem is he can't exit. And good. Glad he knows that, because you can exit in hardlock, because that does not fix your camera. I think, ooh, Fire Rod. So, confirming that it is the Ice Rod on Lumberjack. MM2Ness is going to get... MM2Ness is the one who hasn't been to Kakariko, right?
I think that's correct.
So he'll be rewarded with having a fire source for Lamolas and be able to do a crystal while there.
Oh, where was Fire Rod again?
It was here at the dam. He's here, she's pulling it now.
Oh, that's funny.
Also, it's not in logic yet, but we're pretty close to Trinix if we can get to Lumberjack.
Yeah, that's quite funny. And of course we can. And we have enough bottles to fight Trinix.
Yeah, the rod spam. I think we've seen all 4. I think there are 3 in Kakariko alone and 1 on the mountain. Zero Rush filled... Sorry, MM2Ness filled the bottle and then drank it and then filled it again to get full magic. So I wonder if Zero Rush will do like a water walk from here and use that to get to stuff. Because he already did Ice Rod Cave. MM2Ness already did Waterfall. So
I feel
both
like,
of them are kind of orphaning the Zora checks a little bit.
Okay,
Zero Rush is doing it.
You were right.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have enough money for actual Zora though. And he can't... Yeah, he's farming. This is... Yeah. Oh, we're doing a double water walk. This is cool.
Okay.
So this will be Highly Island and Hobo for Zero Rush. And flippers?
Oh, that's really funny.
We can swim clip that. But it's kind of risky. Yeah, we're going for a Tam Swam. But there's a Zora there. Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
that is fine.
He loses the water walk, though.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
He can get it back right here, though.
Yep. MM2 taking the long way to Hobo.
It's really funny to think that, like, most of the people, especially the people who, like, learn from the mentor tournament, will just open with this check.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get the flippers first, and then they'll clip here and get the Moon Pearl from Hobo without having to actually do the Hobo clip because they have the flippers. Both of the runners just getting a little bit wrecked by skipping.
I admire it, but it's not.
I am not sure it's a good idea to, to swim clip directly into a guard when you have fake flipper. MM2 actually, I don't know how he did that, but he got out of it and
he has
fell into
flippers.
the water. Oh, he has the flippers. He's fine.
Yeah, I didn't see the auto walk or whatever.
I didn't notice him getting them. I thought he didn't have them. Zero Rush now doing this fake flipper.
Okay, so MM2 is doing a screen wrap. This places him directly in front of Eastern Palace. It's the Eastern clip. Yeah, Zero Rush is persistent, and it's going to pay off with that.